2019 to now, we have given opportunity to more than 250,000 Ugandans to become owners of their bikes. And so that's our core business. And when we thought about what can we do in terms of corporate social responsibility, the idea of the riding school came very naturally because of two reasons. One, I think Benjamin talked about it. Road accidents are still way too many in Uganda. Last year, I think, has even increased compared to 2024, almost 6,000 road accidents, more than 50% of them involving Boda riders. And last year even saw an increase in number of these accidents which are fatal. So it remains a very, very big problem. And for us as a stakeholder, a partner in this Boda-Boda ecosystem, we feel we have to do our part and keep our clients and our riders safe. I saw in the latest reports that even the Gulu-Kampala highway is actually one place where most accidents took place. So I think it's touching this community in particular very much. The second reason, I would say the secondary reason, first reason is road safety. The secondary reason is we feel important for Boda riders because it's their main business, it's what brings food to the table to have a driving license. For me, I see it as the equivalent of a trade license for a company. If you are a company and you want to do business, you need to get a trade license. For us, we are regulated by Ministry of Finance as well. As a Boda rider, you cannot make this your business and then not have a legit driving license. So I also see it as a way to move Ugandan Boda riders from informal sector to formal sector. That's the second important point with Shule. So again, thank you to UDLS. I think one, I would say, hurdle we face historically is that there is not enough points where you can get your learner's permit. We, Watu, for example, have more branches than there is UDLS centers. But I'm very glad, I think last year you started this concept of mobile enrollments, and this has been very great. A lot of our clients in the village complain that they cannot pay for transport to go to the nearest UDLS center. We, Watu, even decided to subsidize transport. We arrange vans and buses to go, but whenever you can organize mobile enrollments, count on us to be associating our forces to make these events as big as possible. Traffic police also is a very key stakeholder. So please consider us as partners, to help make the roads safer. I would also encourage police, for as long as a Boda rider can pass in front of a police officer without helmet, without driving license, and with two people at the back, and overspeeding, and nobody's said to them, I think it will not encourage people to do the needful and get the license. So I think we have to really collaborate on this. And now at least you know that if you face someone on the road without license, you can send them to Watu, and we will help them. To my knowledge, Watu Shule is the only driving school in Uganda that gives these permits on loan. I think we've not said it enough. With us, you just add Shule to your Boda loan, and so you can take 2 years to pay the license fee. I think we are the only ones to do that, and that's probably why we've been able to get people on board. So, make use of that. I think I need to answer some of the points raised by our friends, the DPC, because I think these are important points, and I want to make sure there is no misunderstanding. On the issue of GPS trackers, yeah, it's true, we make sure that every single bike that leaves the Watu branch has a tracker, because we want to help our rider keep their Bodas safe. It's your asset, it's also our asset, we need to keep it safe. The truth is, it does not take someone from Watu to leak any information. Let's face it, organized crime knows very well where the trackers are. If you're a good mechanic and you've worked on motorbike for years, you know where the trackers are. Trackers are not magic, we are limited by technology, and these trackers still have some size, so there's a limited number of places in the bike you can hide them. And very organized people who've made Boda Safe a business, they know, right? So let's not think that there's someone at Watu that is leaking this information. It is there. And as Watu, we always try to get the best technology. We try to get smaller and smaller devices that can be hidden somewhere else. But we should not treat these trackers as magic. They are not magic. They are also prone to become faulty after some time, so we replace them. And so the message I want to send to the Boda community is having a tracker does not remove the accountability of the bike. Too many theft stories start from negligence of the rider. You investigate, you realize the rider is going to bet on football game and left the Boda unattended on the street, nobody watching, no lock, nothing, right? Or it's parked outside of your house gate. You know, naturally, bad things will happen. So I think everybody really has to be more responsible. We Watu even went out of our way we give padlocks to every single new bike leaving the branch. To make a good quality padlock, we have to import them from China to make sure, hey, now the bike is in your hands. You have the lock even, we gave it to you for free. Please take care of it. There was a case of sad event where the Boda rider passed on, and then the family cannot get the loan. I want to make clear that at Watu, every single loan needs to have a next of kin. When you come at the branch for your loan, we ask you who is your next of kin. Every single time there is a sad event of a Boda rider passing on, we will contact the next of kin and tell them, this bike is now lawfully yours. You just have to continue where your relative left it, right? The only instance where we would at some point recover the bike is if the family did not show any interest to take on the loan, right? But we would never recover a bike unless the family is showing no interest and the bike stays there and nobody wants to take it, right? So that's very clear. This is our rules and policies. Then also the issue of logbook. I make the commitment today that anytime a loan is finished, it will take Watu team less than a week to do their part. The truth is that most time when the logbook delays, it would be either URA system is down. At the end of the day, whatever we do, it has to go through URA system for the logbook ownership to change. And sometimes the system is down, that could create some delays. But if it delays for quite some time, it's always because the rider did not give us a TIN or gave us a fake TIN. Then when it comes to go to URA system, we cannot do the transfer because TIN is mandatory. And then we end up chasing the rider, give us a TIN, give us a TIN. We cannot do it on their behalf. Right? So again, if any time there is an issue with logbook, you can go to the branch. I guarantee you Watu team is going to sort you out. But yeah, sometimes riders are prone to say, oh, Watu is delaying. Meanwhile, they are not saying they don't have a team and they are not doing the needful to give us the team so we can do the transfer. And then I think the last point was again about a tragic incident of a murder case. I'm not aware of that case in particular. All I can say is that anytime such cases happen, we are always willing to support the police because it's a very serious matter. Countless times we have collaborated with police, especially on important cases like murder. We can give you the latest whereabouts of the bike, if there was a tracker, give you information about the loan, etc. Right? So we will never take these things lightly. It's a very tragic event. Now, it does not remove the legal aspect. The bike, if the loan is still ongoing, is the property of Watu. If it's a critical evidence in the police case, by law, the police can say we need it as an evidence for display, right? But we are not taking these things lightly, and unless it's a critical evidence in the case, lawfully the bike is ours. That does not remove our willingness to always support, because murder.
All our former students and clients that have signed up for Watu Shule have become much better road users, and in the regions where we're operating Watu Shule, where we've had those enrollments happen, working with the Uganda police, we've registered a great percentage in terms of reduction in accidents, because we actively follow up our clients to ensure that the number of clients that are involved in accidents has greatly reduced. The reduction is in the ranges of 20 to 30% over the last 1 year, which is attributed to the fact that these clients now are better road users they have been trained on following all the road signage and also at paying attention to other road users. So that has helped us to ensure that we reduce the carnage on the roads.
One from me. I wanted.
Do you want me to take this on? Yeah. On the price of motorcycle, I will start by saying Watu does not control the price of motorcycles. We get the motorcycles like everybody else from TVS, Bajaj, Auju. And as Watu, because we are a big asset financer, we always try to get the best price. So typically you will never get a TVS bike for less than at Watu, right? But we don't control this. And for example, last year when digital number plate was increased, it increased the price of the bike. Watu is not responsible for this, right? It's just the market. So that's the price of the bike. Then the price that the client has to pay would depend on whether they take the loan for 1 year, 1.5 years, or 2 years. Of course, the longer the period, the more you will pay in the end, but the less you will have to pay on weekly basis. So this is something that is discussed with the client when they come to us. How much you think you can afford? If you can get a smaller loan tenure, it will end up being cheaper for you, but every week you will have to pay more. If you agree to go for 2 years, then you will feel the pain less on weekly basis, but all in all you will pay a bit more, right? And then we have a system where, as a repeat client, so if you are a Watu client who already came for one loan and you complete it, when you come back, you will have a significant reduction in price because you have showed us that we can actually trust you. You've gone through your loan completely. So both the down payment and the weekly payment would go down. Now to answer your question very precisely, the down payment, so when you go for a Watu loan, the down payment would be between 900,000 and 1 million, depending on the bike you want to get, because the price of the bike is different. And then the weekly would typically be between 90,000 and 100,000 shillings every week. That's for a new client, that's roughly the price. And then your question.
My question is how much
on the Shule.
For Shule, and for how long will the training take?
Yeah.
Maybe for one to get.
So the Shule permit itself is, if I'm not mistaken, 440,000. That's the price of the training, but also all the fees paid to UDLS, including like getting the license itself. That's the comprehensive cost. And this 440,000 is added to the Boda loan. So a client who comes for a Boda loan and says, I'm going to pay my Boda loan of 5 million or 5.5 million over the next 2 years, we just add the 440,000 on this 5 million. So the client will be able to pay the 440,000 in very small bits during the next 2 years. Clients, if they want, can also come and buy cash the driving license, in which case it's 390,000. So either on loan 440,000 that you pay over 2 years, or cash 390,000. And Watu does not really make margin on this. We don't consider it a business. Our business is Boda and Simu asset financing. On Shule, it barely covers the expense of the permit itself, UDLS inspection, etc., and the trainers. And it's not a profit-making venture for us. It's something we do again to keep our clients
back
safe.
to our clients.
For how much? For how long will the training be? Maybe for one to acquire the permit.
Yes. So the training goes for the standard number of weeks that are designated by UDLS, which is 6 weeks. Ideally, the client should have trained for those 6 weeks, and then they go for the learner permit. After the learner permit, they get the official permit from UDLS.
DJ, it's our music.
So the picture should be taken from inside or outside?
Better. I think they can stand it inside from inside.
Just a minute.
Check it.
Oh, we can first, yes? Okay, 1.
1, 2, 3. Hooray!